Hi guys, so you can tell from the title of this video that I'll be talking about the time I got pregnant at 18 and the joys of being married young and military life, etc. So I got pregnant at 18. I met my husband when he was on leave from A school, so he went back home for like a week or two, and that's when we met. We kept in touch for about 6 months, and then I decided to go out December. I decided to go out to see him in Washington. So I lived in like right outside of Philadelphia, and I decided to go see him take a plane to Washington State. So that's like cross country. So I went to go see him in December one time for like a weekend. Uh, then we started dating then. So it was a long distance relationship for about 2 months. So we were dating, and then then I went back home. Then I went back to Washington in January for like a week a week and a half or something. But then he came down in February, and in February, that is when I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, uh, no, nobody wanted. It was a no. My mom, she was very, very upset. And actually, at the time I got pregnant, my mom was also pregnant. So, till this day, my sister and my daughter are they're like 6 months apart. So, when I got pregnant, I was very, very scared to tell my mom. I actually told her over text. I had just went to work, and I let her know. I said, "Mom, we gotta talk. I'm pregnant." She said, "No, like, you're not ready for this. This is not happening." And I was like, I had already told Marcus is my husband now, baby father. I told him, I was like, he was excited. So when I went home, we talked, me and my mom, and I was like, I don't want to keep out. I was living with my mom at the time, so I had went to my dad's house because I was like, my mom was just heated. She was angry. So basically, my mom wanted me. She scheduled an appointment to go to Planned Parenthood to get an abortion. Selena, keep quiet, please. So I told her, like, I don't want to have an abortion. If that were the case, then maybe I'll think about adoption. But I don't want to abort the baby. And I just feel like if I had did abortion, like that's gonna stay with me forever. And I feel like if I had an abortion, that God would punish me and never give me a child ever. So that was my mindset. Like, I was like, hell no. This is when I realized, like, I can't be here. So, like, it just wasn't safe for me. And I was already feeling like nobody was for it. Nobody wanted to help me. No, like, just, they was, like, I felt, like, abandoned. Like, they was trying to throw me out. So, when we went to Planned Parenthood, my phone was dying. When we got into the office, it was already dead. I was trying to charge my phone, like, as soon as I could find an outlet. But the doctor called us in, and she said, only you. So it was only me in there. I'm in there, and she's like, she told me, So I'm gonna show you this video about like the process of aborting the baby and all. Yeah, then she said even if you're a minor, you still have the option to not abort the baby. Like, don't matter whatever your parents say, it is your choice. So I was like, I told my mom like I don't want this. I don't want this. So she was like, okay. So then she left. We left. My mom was standing right outside the door, and she said no. She said no, and they was like, yeah. Um, they were trying to talk to my mom, but my mom just blew up. She started beating me up in the office. She took my glasses off my face. I had headphones. She ripped the headphones apart. She was yelling, cussing, smacking, like hitting me. Um so we were like in the downstairs, like yeah, we were downstairs of the facility. So as we were walking upstairs, I'm crying. I'm like, please stop. And I can't see nothing. My phone is dead. And she took off. Like, she left me in the facility. And I um I couldn't do nothing. Like, I was in the center city of Philadelphia. I don't got my glass. I can't see nothing. My phone is dead. So like I'm just sitting there like crying. So I go to the security guy and I ask him if I can borrow his phone, like to call somebody. I was gonna call Marcus and tell him like I need one of his family members to come get me or something. I didn't remember his phone number. It was like the first three digits that I messed up, cause like I was all over the place. I wasn't thinking. I was like this is just a mess. Like it was a very very hard time for me, and so I had forgot the first three numbers. He was like, there's a phone number, and I mean, there's a phone number. There's a phone in the other office. So I went in there, like, I didn't even care if anybody was looking at me. Like, I can't see nobody, so, like, I'm just walking to the phone. People probably staring at me, like, what's wrong with her? And, I forgot the first three digits. So, I keep typing this number in, and it's not going through. So I'm like, oh my god, he not answering. I'm stuck here by myself. So then I go back and I'm like I'm just sitting there crying. I go back right outside the security office, which is like in front of the entrance, and there's like seats and all that. So I'm just sitting there, I'm crying. I'm like, I'm here stuck by myself. And so he was saying, do you have any other family members that can probably like you can call? And I was like, no, like, oh well, no. I was like, let me. I think I said let me try again, because I probably could have called my dad, but even if I called my dad, like him and my mom was on the phone together, so they was just like they was ganging up on me, like I didn't have nobody really, and I didn't know nobody's phone number except for my mom's, my dad's, and Marcus. So I tried Marcus' phone number again, but this time I had the right numbers. So he answered, and I was like, oh my god, thank god. I was typing in the wrong number this whole time. I was like, thank god he called, he answered, because like I was really going through it. So he said he's on three-way with my mom, my dad. So they said that your mom is outside, and they said just get in the car. They said just do what they say or something like that. That's what he told me. And then I was like, all right then. So then I went outside. My mom was out there. I got in the back seat, and she was beating my ass in the back seat. Like, she was turning around, punching me, and I was on the phone. Darn. No, cause I said Marcus was on three-way with my mom, my dad. My mom was still on the phone. She had it on like Bluetooth or something, and I was screaming in the back seat because she was beating me, and um, and then Marcus said that he could hear me because I think she hung up like right afterwards, like the first time she hit me, then she hung up, and Marcus said that he heard me like scream or something. Yeah, so then after that, I just realized that like I can't be here. Like this was is just not for me, and nobody wants me around. Like that's how I felt. So Marcus and I was already planning on getting married. So um, I had already booked a flight. So this all happened in March, like mid March. And I had already booked a flight of end of April, but I was like, after that, like I gotta go now. I don't want to be here. Like there's nowhere for me to stay. My mom, my dad, it just all felt like like nobody wanted me. So I made the flight. I made the flight so that I could leave sooner than the end of April. So then I went. I think like I think like March, like I don't know, like the very beginning of April, and then we got married. We got married on the 7th of April. Then I went back to Philly to get all of my stuff, or at least most of the stuff that I could take. So I got that stuff. Then came back like a week later. Then that was my one-way flight. It was like $250 or something. But by that time, I mean, before then I was working at McDonald's, and I didn't really have like I think that was my last bit of money, and yeah, that was like my last bit of money. So I spent that on the plane ticket back. And at that time, like my mom was like, I'm taking the car, I'm taking a computer I bought you like 5 years ago. She said she was taking everything from me that she bought. And then that's when I started living with Marcus in Washington. We had already got the house like actually a couple days after we got married, we applied for housing and we got the house like the weekend next. So he moved out the barracks into the housing, and then that's when I came and we started living there. And we didn't have nothing. We was living on. I mean, we was sleeping on an air mattress for a couple weeks. And we had one TV, which was a TV he bought when he was in the barracks. And he had Xbox. Oh yeah, we did have cable because he had cable when he was in the barracks. And that was about it. Then I thought I did have a job at a McDonald's in Washington, but it wasn't working out, so I left like a week after. I was so depressed during that whole time. Because, I mean, I'm in Washington. I don't know anybody. I'm pregnant. I know Marcus was always there for me. Like, the entire time. And it's like, oh my gosh, I love him so much. Because when I was in Philly during all of that, when it happened, like he would stay on the phone with me, even though he had work at 6 o'clock in the morning. He would, and the time difference, mind you, In Philadelphia, the time difference is from East Coast to West Coast, 3 hour difference. So he be on the phone with me all the time. Even like when I had my little mood swings, he would not, and that he still is like that today. And like that's just the kind of person he is. So, I mean, from all the stories, like with the um like girls getting pregnant and all that, and the guy leaves them, like I remember my dad and I had a talk in the basement, and he was like, "You love this guy," and I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Well, you know, like guys, they leave, and it's like they don't have to be there because they know the mom is gonna step up." So I was like, "Yeah, I know." So he was like, "Why don't you make a list and like make a list of the things that um that could happen like rightfully and things that could go bad." So I did that, and you know, to this day everything is fine. Like we love each other to death, and like we happy together. And it's been now it's been 2 years. No, it'll be dating wise, it'll be 2 years. Like if we was dating, but married, it would be 2 years in April, this April. Um, but yeah, like we love each other, and Marcus is still the same guy. He's consistent. And yeah, guys, that's it for my story time. So stay tuned for the next.